I'm gonna try to sit here with y'all while I clean my guns. Oh, man. All right, how do I take this one apart? Oh, man. Long day yesterday, people. I'm gonna let some more people get on in and then we'll, how is this cap broken? I'm gonna have to use this one. I don't want to spray. Yep, we gotta get a new one of you. What sort of a spray you got in that thing? But yeah, y'all, the reason why I was late, we were supposed to have an earlier panel. I know when I got off, I said, give me an hour to Earth Day Venus. And she was supposed to come up after that hour, and then we were going to talk about, I'm going to have to use a new one because you are broken. I don't know if I can clean it on camera for y'all. I got the barrel off, just scraping it with my brush. So that's what that noise is that you'll hear. Uh-oh. That's what that noise you're going to hear in the background. Me scraping this thing. That ain't no rats like at somebody, huh? Yeah, there ain't no rats like that, or roaches, or ledge roaches. Yeah, they say it's roaches all over these boys' house. But yeah, man, it almost went diggity down yesterday. I'm talking about all the way down. And I can't quite say I know what happened. I don't understand what happened. We were just on our properties using our Second Amendment right. I got that amendment right. And I invited a bunch of people over, so we out here. Man, it sounded like we heard our neighbors shooting. So of course, when you hear your neighbors shoot, you don't call the police. Hell, you shooting. And so we got out here and got to shooting and making it sound like it was 4th of July. And apparently one of my neighbors didn't like that. Yeah, apparently one of my neighbors didn't like it. But my neighbor, turns out he's an immature fella. Like the whole family is immature. I don't know who they are yet, but they seem to be very, very immature. Very much so immature people. So while we were shooting, a dude is yelling from the gate. He starts yelling through the bushes. Bitch ass nigga, you disrespect me. You disrespecting my house. Shooting behind my motherfucking house. You on my goddamn property. So I'm hearing this yelling, right? I'm like, what the hell? So I guess whatever GPS thing he's looking at, his GPS thing is saying that I'm on his property. So he goes and he's yelling. Of course, if it was me, I would have had a conversation. I wouldn't have been yelling and threatening and thinking that's going to make whatever I'm yelling and threatening about seem more important than the actual truth. So as he's yelling and threatening, at first I was nice. I asked him, this is how you talk to your friendly neighbor? Because I couldn't see nobody. It's just a voice through a tree. So then I got pissed off. And, it's interesting. He's yelling through a gate while I'm holding a Remington 11 with 3 shots, buck shots. And I got an FN on my waist with 21 shots in it. And he's yelling and calling me everything but the child of God. But, I'm just laughing. Because I think it's kind of funny. I can see the estrogen coming from his neck. Because you're in the state of Georgia. There ain't a damn thing you're going to be able to do about somebody shooting on their own property. So after he went from talking gangster He talked gangster and said he'll be over here in a minute. You tried me, pussy boy. He was calling me everything. I said, okay, I'll see you at the top of the driveway. Yeah, I'll see you at the top of the driveway. Bring your big bad ass on over here, and I'll see you at the top of the goddamn driveway. Ain't no need to yelling through no goddamn tree. We need to get up close and personal. So he doesn't come to the top of the driveway. Next thing you know, 3, 4 goddamn carloads of police, sirens blazing. I'm like, what the fuck going on? You would have thought, goddamn, it was a drug bust at this house yesterday. 3, 4 carloads of police, sirens blazing, coming down the damn driveway. We all got guns and and I'm like, oh shit. I'm like, look, out of respect for these officers, put these goddamn guns down. So of course my brother is a hard-headed little fucker. He was like, man, why we got to put our guns down? We own the property. I said, listen, out of respect for these officers, it's not gonna go right with all us having guns, with you having a gun on your hip and one in your damn hand. Put that gun down. And the police suggested the same thing as soon as they heard me telling everybody, taking control of the situation. It calmed them down a little bit, to see 9 or 10 black dudes with guns in their hand. Not a pretty sight. We outnumbered them. It was 9 or 10 of us. All of us got big badass weapons. But we're no threat to the police officers. We're no threat to anybody. That's not a threat to us. So we did the right thing. We put the guns down. And so I'm trying to figure out what the hell is all this for and what do we do? So this Karen neighbor turned this shit into a property dispute, which is stupid as hell because that would be a civil matter. So it doesn't make sense at all. And so he goes, he's on my property. So they come over, the cops go over to his house. He gets tough again. He's cursing and yelling and cursing and yelling through the tree again. And so my brother get mad. He asked the cop, if he agreed to fight, can we fight? Scrooge get pissed off. It was like, hey, look here, man. If he sound like he want to fight. If he agreed to fight, can we just fight mutual combat? So the cop was like, no, you can't fight mutual combat. So I don't know what he was trying to accomplish, but it didn't get accomplished. So the cop comes over there with some GPS shit that's supposed to be from a website. And he said, it's the same thing as a county survey. And I said, well, if it's the same thing as a county survey, I'm going to go in the house and get my actual survey. I said, because that GPS shit that you showing me on the internet is not going to beat my stamped and sealed survey. So I go get my survey and he's still saying, oh no, it looks like it's his property. I said, sir, this is not his property. I know you guys may not know how to read a survey. I'm not trying to disrespect you, but this survey says you're standing on my property. He knows it. Everybody knows it. So then he goes, oh, well, it looks like it's his property based on this. He kept going back to this GPS thing. He's banking his whole life on this GPS coordinates thing. So, but as he moved throughout the yard and as he got away from the trees, the interesting thing about it is the GPS started recalibrating and saying that, oh no, this is your property. So I said, look, let's make it simple for you. I still got some of the markings when the survey was done. So we go to the tip of the yard. I show him the marking on the backside. I said the city, the county put this here. This is like a drain. So this is where my property lines start. And I said, you can shoot this all the way back. And that's where my property line is right there. This is the part that he's claiming that's his property because it goes a little bit behind his house. But I'm not the one who created this property. I'm not the one who mapped it out, but it goes behind his property a little bit. So goddamn, they're still showing me this GPS shit. So I said, look, at the end of the day, I'll take a step back. He literally said, just back up one step and keep shooting. And I'm like, back up one step and keep shooting. I'm like, this don't make any sense, but to get you to leave, okay. Yeah, they tried to use the GPS over an official document. I'm like, that ain't gonna work. That dog ain't gonna hunt. You're not gonna. I said, can you give me? So they gave me the number to the guy who is in control of all the surveys and who runs all this stuff. So I said, we're gonna have that guy come out here tomorrow. I said, because this is an easy thing. They should have did this same thing. If they thought that it was a property dispute, they should have called that guy and have their property marked, and we don't have nothing to argue about. But just like some folks don't know how to communicate, they don't know that yelling through a tree and saying nigga is not gonna really get what you want to accomplish. So I got about 3,000 rounds I'm gonna shoot today because he pissed me off. So I'll be going to the gun range to replenish my bullets. But I told him, I said, you don't up now, because now I'm gonna shoot every day. So I'm cleaning these guns to go back out there, and I'm gonna make it sound like motherfucker July. Because, and I know what it is. What it is that I have a gun. One of my guns is really, really loud. And so the neighbors all around us, we were kind of like competing yesterday. Everybody was bringing out their big shit and shooting it. And so once my neighbor started shooting this big ass, it sounded like a 357. I don't know what it was. It might have been a rifle. So I ran upstairs and I got my Russian precision. And that motherfucker, like, you can't tell when that damn gun shoot, you can't tell where it's coming from. It's so fucking loud. It sounds like it's in your living room. It sounds like it's right next to you. It sounds like it's up the street. It sounds like it's around the corner. But everybody around hit his goddamn gun when it go off. And he told the cop that he just got upset because his baby was trying to sleep, and we woke his baby up or something. And I'm like, if you would have came over and talked to me in that manner, like a friendly neighbor, you might have would have got something accomplished. I might have would have said, okay, let's put the big shit up, or let's go on the other side of the property. I might have could have accommodated something. I don't have to, but I might have could have accommodated him a little bit. But when you say, nigga, you trying me and this and that, and I'm on my property and you talking to me like that, you done lost your. So now I'm no longer your friendly neighbor. Now I got about 3,000 rounds I'm gonna shoot, and I hope your baby not sleep in the middle of the day today, because that baby ain't gonna get no sleep. Because I know my rights. And if you would have spoke to me like you was a man and not some fake ass little hoodlum thug, then I would have respected you. But you sounded like a hoodlum little thug, and I don't like hoodlum little thugs, especially not one that's living by me talking shit to me. So yeah. Today, so the police, I let them know, look, if he wants to handle this in a civil manner, civil court, that's cool. My survey is in my hand. If he wanted a copy of it to look at it, he could have got a copy of it. But the one thing you're not going to do is dictate what I do on my property. Sorry that your baby was asleep, but you don't talk to somebody like that on their own property. So now you're going to see another side of me. And that was my day yesterday. 3-4 carloads of police on my property for about an hour and a half, trying to make sure, or they're trying to handle a property dispute. I was like, this is the dumbest shit ever. This dude is a weirdo. Whoever that is a weirdo. And I'm pretty sure he watched my show. And that's probably why he came so aggressive. I'm like, it don't make sense. If you're trying to resolve something, why in the talk like that if you're trying to resolve something? We live right next to each other. Last thing you want to do is just come at your neighbor like that when we live right next to each other. You don't ever supposed to disrespect somebody like that. Not that's right close to you. You don't supposed to disrespect nobody, period, like that, especially that hadn't disrespect you. But especially not one that's right close to you. But for some reason, he thought that was smart.